Well, hi guys, hope you're well. We're currently going through a heat wave over in the UK, but I'm not complaining, I don't mind. I've not been on, posted a video for some time. I'm still doing lots of projects and things, but this one has been an ongoing, very frustrating boat build for me. I bought this from my local model shop. It's a Riviera Acquarama, you know, the Italian sports boat. It's 54 inches long, I believe. Originally powered by an electric motor, which, you know, when you think that these had two Lamborghini engines in the back, and I think they can have one Ferrari V8, you know, that didn't really sort of inspire me much, and I had lots of troubles trying to run it on 4S with motors burning out, etc. So I thought, I don't know, I'm not happy with things, you know. I want to build the ultimate kind of rear Acquarama as they were supposed to be. So, first of all, I bought one of these. Yes, it's a Cison V8. Now, it cost me loads of money. As you know, the price of them, very expensive. I thought it would go just right in this boat. The problem was, it was very hard to get the engine in there. And if you wanted to tilt the engine, I made these mounts to sort of tilt the engine back, but there'll be a bit more on that a bit later on, but these didn't work. So, also there was just this hole with the electric motor and batteries in there, so the engine wouldn't fit. So I thought, I'm going to chop it up. So I took my saw, and we've gone through here and through there, so I can gain access to the fuel tank, which is in there, and lots and lots of room for the engine. Now, I've had this V8 since probably before last Christmas, probably 9 months. And I can count on one hand the amount of times that it's actually run. First time we started on a board, and we started it on these mounts. So it was just tilting back, it was all screwed down. And it actually started, even though the book shows the timing, when you do the timing to the book or the instructions, it's 180 degrees out, which fools you for quite some time, till you work out where the timing is supposed to be. If you time it up by the book, it won't run. They show you like through the distributor, which I've got here, which you're probably wondering, oh, why isn't it in the engine? You know, well, we'll come to that. But there's a little hole. Let's take this out. The seats are just velcroed in. I put the ignition box, or CDR, whatever you want to call it, in there, and I'll run the ignition off of this 3-cell LiPo, which fits in there lovely in the front, and I hide all the wires up and all things like that. Now, the problem I've been having, or had, still have, not been solved. If I tell you about the timing, we'll get back to the other bit in a minute. I don't know if you can see there's a hole in there, right? And you're supposed to line that hole, they put blue paint around it, so you know that's the one that's got a fire number 1 cylinder. Simples, but no, if you do it to that hole, it's 180 degrees out. So you've got to turn it round and do it to the other hole. And there's a little screw in there, I think that's what holds it onto the shaft. And on the top of that, it says S for sensor. So that is, you know, it takes you a while to work out why the thing won't start. It's because the timing in the book is wrong. So, this is what I've had the problem with. These are, where are you? These are sensor boards, and they plug in on the back of the distributor, and you're thinking, why have I got two? Or, if you look on the back of this one, why have I got three? Because they all don't bloody work. I have been sent 3 of these, and the last one ran for like 20 seconds, packed up, and I knew what it'd be. There should be 2 little lights on here. I'll plug this in and show you. There should be 2 little lights. When you plug this in, like so, now on here, I can earth it out whether it makes any difference. There should be a light, a red light, and as you twist this round, there should be a green and a red light as it passes over the sensors. There's 2 sensors. There's one there, and there's one over there. So you've got 2 sensors on there. And when it passes them, when these are new, it lights up red, and then it goes green as it passes where the distributor, where the high tension wires come out of the top of the distributor. So you've got, oops, I've just unplugged this because it doesn't work, as you've seen. Very frustrating, you know. So, there's the timing holes I'm telling you about. You can see them in there when I spin this, and that's better. See, and they mark that up on the wrong one. So you've got that there. You've got the board that clips or screws with these plastic screws underneath. Now this one runs for 20 seconds. Because what I always do, I put the engine on the bench, yep, she runs, and then I put it all in the boat. I do all the wiring nice and neat. I've got the CDI that goes under the seat, you can't see anything. I've got a small lithium battery for the starter. The starter runs off my transmitter. And I've got another battery down the front. Another battery that fits in here so you can't see it. I'll show you, it's kind of like made for it. I will put a cover over it if I ever get it going. 2 seats, they're only going on Velcro. So yeah, that one, that goes in there like that. So this, you know, really is the main problem, this distributor. I mean, they're hard to read when it's in the boat. It's got a little screw goes in there so you can still adjust it, and there's a little locking screw on the other side when you get it right. But like I say, we've gone through 3 of these now. You know, and it's heartbreaking to spend 2 days, which the last one I spent 2 days fitting the whole boat out, you know, with this engine. And I'm just getting absolutely nowhere. And I'm trying to contact Engine DIY. I'd Rebecca on there, who's helped me out a lot in the past, but she seems to sort of be disappearing now. I think they're getting fed up with me, but when you think I've had this engine 9 months and it's hardly run. And if the distributor or the sensor boards were better quality, or maybe it's even this. I mean, I don't know. Maybe that box is damaging the sensor boards. I don't know, but you know, the most it's run, I would say, is about 2 minutes. And I put it in the boat last time, it ran for 2 minutes, I put it all in the boat, nice and tidy. I've got all my radio in there. I've got a relay for the starter, all the other little bits, you know, and it's all in there, nice and neat, works a treat, starts up. When it's working, it'll start first time. You just hit the start button and it starts. I've made twin exhausts to come out the back, like the real one. They're only in there loose at the moment, but they go on. I've made some special adapters for them to fit on. I've also made myself a clutch. Let's take these out. Can you imagine days and days and hours of work? This goes on rubber mounts. Oh, sorry. Let's push this back. Alright, where you gone? Okay. Now this is the engine. It's kind of, looks great, doesn't it? It's, you know, and when it runs, it sounds great. But the first run I had of this, when I had it on the stand, I was around a friend's house and we started it up. Once we sorted the timing out, and we started it up, and it started throwing oil out and smoking, and oh, it was dreadful. And that's when we had it on these angle mounts. And I got in touch with Engine DIY, Thailand, whatever you want to call them. And they said, oh, you can't have the engine sitting at an angle because it's got a dry sump. And the oil level is absolutely critical, otherwise it gets splashed about by the crankshaft. So I started over again, and I've made these rubber mounted mounts, and I've also got like 2 arms that come down from here that are rubber mounted as well, so that they go on there like that, and it's like an A-frame. They go on each side of the engine on the front, and that supports it from rocking side to side too much. I made a new clutch for this. I think I put springs on it, but I don't think it's going to be quite enough. It's revs, because I only revved to 10,000, so I took the spring out. But obviously I've not had a chance to run the bloody thing, so I don't know if it works or not. But this is what I've made up. It's like 2 shoes. I made this back plate up that screws to the flywheel, and then I turned, this is all one piece of metal, great big chunk of metal, and I banged the 2 pins in there for the clutch, because I had a smaller one and that didn't seem to work. But you know, that one, it's got more grip on the sides, and I'm hoping that's going to work. I also hoping to get the engine going. So let's take that off, because it's only going to fall off. So, like I say, I made the new mounts, cut loads and loads out of the boat. I mean, I don't know if you can, let's turn this camera up a bit. This is what I've had to do to the inside. Hack loads of it out, because it was actually built, it was scratch built by someone. So I found it in my local model shop, and it had been made like the real thing. So there's loads of formers and loads of things I cut out. It was like a day cutting everything out so I could get this engine in. And once you put all the covers back on, you can't see anything. I mean, I've got all these like covered in like the cream leatherette and everything. And once you put all them back on and they screw on with chrome screws, you wouldn't even know it's been cut up. So that bit went quite well. But the part with this engine has been like horrendous. It's from like 9 months ago, the first start. So when it started burning oil and everything like that, I stripped it down and the bores were full up with oil and everything. And everyone was telling me I've got the rings around the wrong way and there's a chamfer on them. But, you know, you look under like a microscope and you can't really see a chamfer on the rings. It's really hard to see. They haven't marked them. So when you put them on, it's really hard to see if you've got them around the right way or not. So, they sent me a complete set of new rings. They sent me new seals. They sent me the whole lot and some copper head gaskets. So I thought, oh, that's okay. You know, we should be okay now. Got it back together again. Started it up. Oh, brilliant. You know, I've got it going at last. You know, and then like 3 minutes later, stopped. And then the whole sensor is dead. There's no light on it again. So I think, okay, I bought a new one. Send me the hall sensor. So I bought one, put it in, started again for like three minutes, maybe 5 minutes. And I thought, oh, that's sorted. Put it all back in the boat, spent hours and hours getting it all in, the fuel lines, the wiring, everything nice and neat. Started up in the boat. It run for like probably 5 minutes. I thought that's sorted. Started it up again and it wouldn't run. Looked at the hall sensor, no green or no red light on it. I thought, I can't believe this. This is not real, you know. And it's really hard to find someone to help you because there's not a lot of people that actually got these engines. There's a lot of people who claim they know about engines and they know about that. And when you get down to the nitty gritty, they don't even own one of these engines. They've owned the real thing and they can tell me this and tell me that, but they're not actually telling me anything about this engine. It's like they're real V8 engines and things. I've not yet found someone who can help me on this engine. I can't find, I've sent out lots of things to people. I can't find anyone who actually owns one of these engines and had the same problem as me of just burning out the hall sensor, you know. And when I got one again, because they sent me one free of charge, that one, it only did like 2 starts. And then I thought, I can't believe it. I looked at the distributor again, no lights on the distributor. Now, is it this? No one can tell me. There is no one out there that seems to have had this problem with burning out the hall sensors and having no ignition after like a couple of starts. I wish there was. I've sent off to a few people on different groups and stuff like that, but I've got no answers through. I'm getting no answers from Sterling Kit. They say, as they always do, not Sterling Kit, Engine DIY, as they always do, oh, we're going to ask our technicians. We're going to ask our engineers and see what they come up with. And they brought a lot of new parts out for this, but I don't know whether they're interchangeable with this engine. And they brought out another distributor which has got like an advance and retard on it. Well, I hope they've changed the board, the sensor board. And will one of them fit my distributor? Because I'm on the 3rd one now, and it's such a lot of work to get this in and out. And you think what a project this would be. You know, we've got loads of torque there. We've got like 45 or 43 cc. I can have a big propeller on the, you know, on the back of it. I've re-angled the shaft and everything like that. To get a big propeller on there, and it you know, when it has run briefly, it sounds awesome, and it will be such a model to run. But I just can't get it to run because it'll run for like, you know, 5 minutes and then just stop. I don't know what's wrong with it. I've got no ignition. It sort of runs rough. It runs good, and then it runs rough, and it just stops, and you've got no spark, nothing. And I don't seem to get anywhere with it. I've got no one who's had the same problem. I've got no one who can tell me how to fix it. I don't know how to fix it myself because I can't get the boards. I can't get a different board. No one seems to be making, you know, this board better quality. Everyone has said to me, these sensor boards are terrible quality and Engine DIY are not looking at it. They're just posting them out, I suppose, to shut you up. But I've had enough. I'm very frustrated now. This is going like the L400 I had, where I had to completely make a video about the engine and how bad it was with the crankshaft breaking. Well, this is not getting, you know, this is not getting far behind that when I will make a video about this engine, because I'm getting no help from anyone. No one is saying we're bringing out a new part for it, you know. It's just like, oh, we'll send you another board that'll last for like 5 minutes. Well, you know, I don't even get any from Cison or anyone like that get back to me. No one from Engine DIY can tell me why they keep failing. They can't tell me if they're going to bring out a better board for it. It's just, you know, it's a stalemate now. My sort of £1,800 engine is just sitting here doing nothing. And it's been like that for about 9 months. So if any of you guys out there seriously want to buy this engine, or you seriously want one, I would think twice. I would sort of, maybe the revised engine will be better, I don't know. But I would not, you know, if I had my time again, I wouldn't have bought this engine because it cost me so much money and so much grief and heartache, and I haven't got anywhere with it. So, you know, I know it's a bit of a rant, but I've just had enough of it, to be honest with you. You know, all the parts I make, like clutch bells and stuff like that, clutch, you know, I've made new new drive shafts for the end. I make all that stuff myself because you can't buy anything like it, so it's a complete one-off. And the biggest thing in the boat, which should be the greatest thing ever, and everyone loves it, but only if it was to run. It would be a fantastic thing, and it would be an absolutely beautiful model, you know, because it looked great on the water before, but electric motors don't do it for me. So, you know, I went straight into this thinking that it was going to be a good engine, but I'm afraid I've rebuilt it twice now. It's had 2 starter motors. It's had new rings, new seals, everything like that. And as I say, it's had 3 sensor boards, none of them work, and no matter what I do, I cannot stop the water from coming out of this water pump here. We've got 2 little nipples in there. Can you see that horrible, the way it snakes around there? I mean, this needs to be brought out. It's kind of rubbing. I've had to change all these tubes to Tygon tubing because they say use silicone tubing, but it just blows off straight away. I've had clips on them, and now I've got Tygon tubing, and I've even put the washers under there are useless. They're like hard plastic, and there's so much pressure from this pump. It's like 2 feeds in and 1 feed out. There's so much pressure from that pump, and if you can see that little tube, it's got a terrible kink in it. I'll bring it up to you. You know, this is that little tube there. Look at it. That's the way it has to go. And I put these things on myself. I put these clips on. It still leaks. I put silicone in these nipples that go in. I put rubber washers. I've tried everything, and they still weep and they still leak. So, you know, and the other thing is the leads. You know, it tells you to just chop the lead off, right, and the spark will jump across. Well, first of all, it just blocks all my radio out. So I've changed the radio, I've changed servos and stuff like that, and eventually I cut these off, and I didn't leave it. It says leave like 1/2 mil to the plug. But I didn't. I pushed them right in, and I've actually got it to, I've got 2 servos. I've only tried one. The throttle one was working on it, and it didn't block it out. So that's one little bit of progress. But can you imagine, I've got all this money sitting here that is just like good for nothing. So I'm sorry to have a bit of a rant. I'm hoping that I can get something done with it and get some new parts. I don't know what they're changing or what the future is for this engine, whether they're going to do like the L400, just discontinue it. I don't know. But, you know, there's so many things on it that are good, and so many things that could have been made a lot better, you know. I've also sheared the gears off twice, the starter gears. And the starter motor, it's a brush motor, you know, and it's just not man enough for the job. Especially if you've got an engine that won't run and you'll keep hitting the starter, you'll burn that out, you know, after a few hits. So, very disappointed with it, to be honest with you. So, I've got a few other projects I've been doing that have been going quite well. But this is the one I want to get up and running. And it's dragging on and on and on. And there's no one out there that seems to sort of done anything with this engine. I've seen one on a little mini GoPed bike, you know, that seems to go okay. I've seen them in Johnny Q's truck, you know, it seems to go away. So, and I ask them questions and I still get nothing back. You know, you think they'd want to help me out. They must have gone through this situation of the hall sensors blowing up, or maybe the CDI boxes blowing up, but they don't seem to want to answer me. So I don't understand. So once again, I'm on my own. So anyway, guys, rant over. I will get this done one day. I can't give it up, can I? It's 1,800 kids sitting here. I can't give up, so I've got to keep trying. And hopefully, one day you will see it in the water, along with some of my other stuff. So I'm going to sign out now, guys, and I'll see you in the next vid.